Hey y'all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Rachel from Her Thrive and I'm so excited that you're here. I'm planning today in my Amy Tangerine designed happy planner that came in the Be Happy box. And I am planning for the week of the 4th of July. I'm so behind, but it's Tuesday when I'm recording this and I decided to go ahead and jump in. It's never too late to go ahead and just get started. Now, I was super bummed that I don't have any 4th of July stickers. I've either used them all or I don't have the new books that have all the cool stickers in them that everyone's using. And then I realized, well, hello, I have stamps. Like those are perfect. I can use them. You never run out of them and I can use them for any holiday. And so I pulled out some that I think I might be using. I pulled out mostly Happy Planner ones because those are very functional. And then I pulled out some of my Sweet Stamp Shop ones because those are very decorative. I've got red and blue ink. The red one is from the Paper Pumpkin, and that black one there is as well. And so I thought, how perfect. I can just pull out coordinating inks for any holiday and then I can use these. So I'm going to start off with the Be Happy box because that one came from the first Be Happy box and I didn't get it and someone gave it to me. Another planner babe gave it to me. So, and then I have these functional ones from Hobby Lobby, I think, or you can probably find them on the Mambi website. I got some of them on clearance, so they might not be available anymore, but these are super functional. And now I have 2 sets of them and they come with 4 and I'm missing 2 of them. But this one here has a lot of decorative stuff and that's why I mostly use that one. Now I'm looking for something to add labels to the top, and that one there has mostly like food, I think. And so I was looking for what header can I use? And I found this one that's from the I don't remember what it's called, like the journaling or Bujo collection. I'm not exactly sure, but I didn't realize that they stamped it, or not stamped it. They punched the sides of it so it can go into your happy planner. That's so cool. And so I'm going to use this little header here. I think it's the only one that I end up using from that collection right there. And then I need the 4th of July sticker because I don't have a coordinating stamp for it. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick that in there because I will forget to do that if I don't put that on there. Okay, so let me go ahead and I decide to stamp a little header there with my blue ink. I can't remember the brand of this one, but it's sold everywhere. Like Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Joann's, pretty much anywhere it's sold. Okay, you're not supposed to rock back and forth with your stamps. And I'm pretty sure I do that a few times. I just had a wet paper towel to wipe my stamps down. The thing about stamping is that it gets very messy. It can get on if it gets on your fingertips, it'll get all over your page. And so I'm pretty sure that's going to happen, but taking the risk here. So I like to use kind of like bullet points whenever I have events or whatnot going on. And so I'm going to use this stamp quite a bit. It is probably my favorite one because it's like a little flag. That'd be really cool if I can get the center of that heart colored in. But I mean, I could totally do that with a marker. But that would be really cool if that was colored in blue. I don't know why I didn't think about doing that with the marker afterwards, but whatever. I don't remember which stamp set that one is from, but I'm going to go in and write in to do, I can't remember what I write at the top there. And I just lucked out. It just so happened that these Happy Planner stamps had so many stars in there. Like, how perfect is that for the 4th of July? So I was able to use a ton of star stamps all throughout this spread. And I'm so careful, like, am I going to get ink on my stinking fingers? Because I do that all the time, and then it's all over my page. These stamps, a payday stamp. I had some payday stickers and I ran out. I believe they were green. So I could totally use green ink if I wanted to. But that's what I love about stamps. You don't run out of them. You can use them forever and ever. They might be sometimes a little pricier considering you're getting one sheet, but you can use them forever and ever. And so I'm going back to this one. I use this one quite a bit throughout the spread. And of course, I decide on a stamp and then I'm like, let me go back and see what else I got. And then I end up going to the original one. I do that all the time. Never stinking fails. Yeah, that one looks like it's mostly like shopping or meal plans kind of thing. And so I don't think I use that one as much in this layout. I do use that Be Happy Box stamp. So I hope that we get more because I feel like those, well, we've only had one in a release like that, but they tend to be, that one was a little bit more decorative and I love that. As a matter of fact, one of the frames that are in it is just like the new color box sticker sheets. And so that's pretty cool because colorful boxes. You basically have the colorful box right there, which is pretty cool. And I go back to this stamp one, this star bullet point quite a bit. And I'm trying to make sure I don't. So what I'm doing is I do the bullet points right there. I'm using that for the hours that I work each day. I need to keep track of that because I make my own hours. I just have to enter in how many hours I'm going to work that day for the week. And so I need to go in and make sure I keep track of that. And that's what I have my happy planner for. This is a Sweet Stamp Shop stamp. I don't know that I believe it's still available actually. I think I linked that below. And I want to keep track of when I go to the gym. Now I'm going to the gym. There I go with the ink. Every day or 5 days a week. Now, because I'm not doing intense workouts, that's not too much of a lofty goal. The only thing that's lofty about it is actually driving the 15 minutes that it takes for me to get there, or 20 minutes because I got to check my daughter in. That's the only thing that's lofty about that goal. So please don't think that I'm just like this intense, super fit woman that goes to the gym 5 days a week. No, I am on the struggle bus, y'all. So I'm trying to make the best of it because I may not be able to continue with my membership after school starts. So don't think that I'm crazy. What am I looking for here? I keep going back to that same stamp. Like, why do I keep searching through stamps? Girl, just stay with that stamp. That's what's working for you. So I decided to do on alternating sides for church on Sunday. I attend one and teach the other. So kind of just differentiate between the two. There, I was just trying to be creative because I'm using the same stamps over and over. Now, I could totally make a banner with that stamp as well. And then I go in and I put bullet points for, I have my errands, my work hours, and then I think that's for like my son's work schedule as well. Just cleaning off my stamps. And then I attempt to clean off the page and it looks like it works, but honestly, you're taking off a layer of the paper and then I have the paper shavings that I had to wipe off. So I don't recommend that. What I ended up doing afterwards is using my whiteout. So I'm looking for some, again, bullet points for my to-do list. I go back and forth. And again, these Happy Planner stickers had so many stars that it was almost hard to figure out which one I was going to use. I thought I was going to do some decorative things on there. But then I decided to go back and, girl, you need to finish these bullet points because I get so sidetracked. So that one, I really wish I had I didn't have a long stamping block. It doesn't even fit on there because it would have been cool to use like red and blue, just paintbrush marks throughout the sheet. But I need actually a bigger stamping block for that one. I'm going to have to go out and purchase one because the one I'm using is from the Paper Pumpkin subscription box. You get it on your first, when you first order, they send a stamping block in your first subscription, your first box. And then after that, they don't send them, but they send you an ink stamp. That's where I got that ink from. They send you a stamp set and then like coordinating cutouts, die cuts, and cards to make greeting cards basically. And they're seasonal, which is pretty awesome. During Halloween, I got like little goodie bags instead of cards. So I decided to put this washi down because I don't want all of those stars to go all the way down the page because I don't have that many to-dos. It was Tuesday when I was recording this and I already knew what I had already done. I didn't need to fill in that many things. And so I decided to use the washi tape, put it down. But then to get it lined up exactly again was a little too much. So I ended up using, putting it on the stamp, that's not a good idea either. So I ended up using a sheet of paper just to mask. So what ends up happening is the parts that you don't want stamped down will end up on the extra sheet of paper and not on your paper that you are stamping on. So I use that technique quite a bit through this layout. I'm trying to get with my to-dos, and this one is perfect. The stamp set, again, it's very decorative. It's also functional. I got a little too much ink on that ink block, but it's fine. It ended up, some inks will dye some of my stamps, you'll notice they're dyed. And I guess that's the dye ink that I use, and it will not come off. It was some of the cheaper inks from Michael's. It would not come off of my stamp. And so the actual stamp is dyed. It stayed that color, which really stinks. I mean, they still work the same. It doesn't come off on the page, but I mean, it just doesn't look good. And then when I'm trying to stamp, I'm not sure if I have the right color on there. It's always confusing. So I go back and use this star stamp as bullet points again for all my to-dos. I tend to do like my events at the top and then decor in the middle and to-dos at the bottom. And as much as I try to get away from that, I always just go back to it. Like it just works for me. So I just continue to do it. But I'm looking for, I wanted to create a flag. I noticed I had these stars and then I had the stripes. And I wanted to create a flag. So I'm practicing on this sheet of paper because I did not want to ruin. I didn't want to do it for the first time on my planner. And so I decided to practice here. Now I'm doing 2 columns of stars for my practice sheet, or 3 it looks like. And I ended up not liking the way this turned out, but I did, you'll see where I used a different amount of stars. Or I could have just turned that over, honestly. You see, it needed 1 more row there. So I went ahead and did it off camera because it would have taken forever, but that's what it's going to look like. And I totally didn't see it till I saw this video that I could have just turned it around and then did it, but that's not what I did. So I'm going to attempt to do it on this. Now they don't fit exactly in the box. That's what I was measuring right there. I could have done it if I would have stuck more sheets down and just covered up, all around, just like I did when I was stamping those bullet points down there, like I'm doing right there. But I didn't think about it until it was too late, but it might have looked funny anyways. But it's totally fine that it's off. It's not all in the same box. I mean, your decor doesn't have to be, but I think it would have been really cool if I did. There is my flag. I'm so excited that I figured that out. I just got lucky that these stamps have so many stinking stars in them. It worked out perfect for 4th of July. And so I was trying to do like a pattern right there with those little circles, stars, but I decided I'm not that good at that. It does require you to do that masking technique, but I'm just not good at getting them like enough stamps in there. I'm not good at it, so I didn't do that. So I'm going to use these little sparkly things. I don't know what that is, like glitter, I guess you can say. And it doesn't bleed through, thank God. I could layer them, but I decided not to do that. I just left it alone. Sometimes you just have to leave things alone before you jack it all up. I needed another label down there. I didn't use that many labels in this layout, actually. I mean, I had more words I could have used, but I like the way this spread came out, this layout. It looks really good. So I'm pretty pleased with it. So, I don't know what I was doing there. Okay, so I decided to use this one. Now, I love this stamp because it's so versatile. It doesn't matter if you stamp it down correctly or not. Like, it could be faded, you could miss some spots, and it does not matter. It's gonna look good. I love those spots. So I decided I did not want to cover my flag up. I was gonna get spots all over that flag. I wasn't going to like how that turned out. So I just covered it up with some washi tape and just ripped that off. I could have totally used like an X-Acto knife, but I winged it. So the spots got on this washi and not on my flag. So now it looks like an actual flag and not just a bunch of junk on there. I just didn't want it to look like total randomness when I actually tried. So here again, I kind of wish that the stamp would have went all the way across to make the stripes. I could have put that paper down again and then made them fit in the box, but I decided not to do that. Just go ahead and just do alternating stripes down the middle. And again, this one is so awesome that it was faded. I stamped over it. It was fine. It didn't matter if it's not a word, so it didn't matter if it was exactly on there. And I feel like the stamp is designed to be that way. It's designed to be kind of doodle-ish, if you will. And so that's what I'm doing. I doodled some lines on my layout in my little boxes there. And I like how that turned out. And you could totally use a stamp set for Christmas or anything else, and it would just work. There I go with the decor in the middle. That is just how I roll. I've always done it that way. I think since I started using the Happy Planner. Well, at the beginning, they were labeled like morning, afternoon, evening. I don't know if any of you remember that. So I think I covered it with washi and didn't even do it then. And I'm trying to wipe that ink off. I don't know how I got that on there, but I ended up using whiteout at the end off camera. It's not in this video at all. Just before, when I was going in and writing in all my stuff, I just used the one that looks like it's a paintbrush, not the runner, because it's a little easier to control when it comes to spots like that. See, I could do banners with that, but I did not. It was a little too late for that. So I just continued to use it as kind of like bullet points, just to section off or draw my attention to my to-do list. And then these boxes, again, are perfect. Now, you normally shouldn't stamp off like that, like hold it, because if you drop that ink, it's all over your paper. But I think I quit doing it on the table because I kept shaking my table, and I didn't notice it in this video, but it just kept shaking my table, and I didn't want, the whole video to be shaky. So I started picking it up, but if you drop it, girl, you're in trouble. You'll have a big mess. And so I opted not to do that. Now, this is from Sweet Stamp Shop. This one is still available. I wanted to use those because they're like firecrackers. They have like these, she's like a superhero, I guess. And so it's like those bam, pow, like in a comic book. And so I wish I would have thought about that. I would have used those as bullet points, but I'm kind of glad I didn't because I ended up using it here as just plain decor. Now I'm using the stamp and I thought that I was out of ink. I couldn't see it on there, but it's actually like a dark gray and not a black. And that's why the pigment wasn't showing up as dark as I had intended to, but it came out fine on my layout. I was just so confused when I was stamping, like, do I have ink on here or not? So it's like bam, pow. These are like the little firework explosion, if you will. And so this ended up working out just as good too. And I had to go back in there and layer it. And it ended up turning out fine, even though I didn't layer it exactly because, again, this decorative stamp, it was fine. And it's a firecracker. Do the firecrackers come out perfect? No. So I just went in and another technique you could use if you, like for words, if I stamp a word incorrectly, it's really hard to go over there and get exactly. So I'll just use a fine point marker in that color and shade in wherever I missed or draw in the line that I missed. And I usually stamp in black, so I always have a black fine point marker on hand and you can almost never tell. Well, I love the way this layout came out. I was so bummed out I didn't have stickers, but I'm excited. I think it's perfect the way it is. It came out really well. I left Sunday blank, but I'll just go fill that in if I have to.